Hey guys, I'm really happy to welcome to the podcast someone that I met a couple of months ago. I was giving a talk in Illinois, and sitting next to me was Mary Miller, the Congresswoman from the 15th District of Illinois, and her husband, who I believe is a state rep. She'll correct me if I'm wrong. Mary's on the Agriculture Committee, the Education and Labor Committee. And their family is by profession, they're farmers. And what I love about chatting with Mary and her husband was these are normal people who have been flung into the throes of DC political life. Mary, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for joining me. As I said to you a moment ago, to me, this is Mrs. Miller Goes to Washington, because you strike me as sort of the embodiment of a kind of a farm girl in Illinois. And I want you to start by telling me this anecdote that you told me at dinner, but I want to share with the audience about someone coming to your husband and asking him if he would sing at a memorial or at a funeral. Tell that story, if you will.
Sure. So my husband and I have been married for 41 years, and we've had a great time together thanks to him. He has a great sense of humor. Even when I've tried to have a fight with him, he makes me laugh. Of course, that makes me madder. But anyway, we over the years, one of the things we've done with our extra time is look for places to minister to what we call the least of these. And we've done this nursing home ministry. And we got to know this couple. Well, when the husband passed away, the wife called my husband and asked him if he would sing. I'm laughing just thinking about it. If he would sing a solo at her husband's wedding.
At the funeral.
At her husband's funeral. And so my husband felt bad telling the sweet little old lady no. So he said yes. Well, then she picked out the hardest song to sing. And anyway, I was sitting kind of toward the back, and it was so bad. I can't even tell you. It was so off tune and so bad. I was cringing.
Didn't he forget the words of something like that?
He forgot the words and he started making them up. Plus, he was off tune, which he doesn't have a bad voice, but it was a hard song to sing a cappella. And this woman in front of me turned around and she mouthed to me. She didn't know who I was. She mouthed to me, "Who is that?" And I said, "My husband."
Yeah.
I don't know, just had a great laugh about that. But anyway, when you are willing to serve people, my husband says to be humble sometimes requires a lot of humiliation. So anyway, he was humiliated and humbled at the same time.
Well, at the event I was at, he was called upon to do the auction because apparently the auctioneer didn't show up or something. And I loved it. He gets up there and he goes, "I'm not an auctioneer. I don't know how to get money out of people." He goes, "But I've been to a bunch of mega churches and I've kind of seen the techniques that these pastors have perfected."
Yeah.
And I was just chuckling as I heard him draw this analogy. Yeah. Well, Mary, you're a farm family. Talk a little bit about your background and what gave you the idea of wanting to run for Congress? Because you're a first-term Congresswoman now.
Sure. Well, of course, my husband's in the Illinois legislature, and he's kind of like me. We never envisioned ourselves actually being in the positions we're in. We've been farming for over 40 years. We've raised 7 children. We're expecting our 18th grandchild. We've been very involved in community and church activities, that kind of thing. So about a decade ago, I told my husband, "Don't call me a Republican. I'm a conservative, constitutional Christian," because I've been irritated at the people that we elect. They talk the talk, but when they get there, they don't walk the walk. In fact, I told my children, don't listen to what a politician says. Look at what they do. And so anyway, my husband ran, and even though he's funny in that, he is kind of an introvert, and I'm an extreme extrovert. So when I was helping him campaign, they would tease him that they got the wrong candidate. And so when this position opened up, local people and businessmen encouraged me to run for the spot. And actually within a couple of days, they put up over $100,000 to get me on my way. And then also Bill Montgomery, he's the one that got Charlie Kirk started with Turning Point. He's a friend of ours, and he encouraged me to run. And I remember saying to him, "But I'm not a politician and I'm not a lawyer." And he said, "Mary, we need you. You represent the family." And it was a kind of a turning point for me in light of a agreeing to run because I do represent the family. I also represent small business. And, the family is the foundation of our culture. And small businesses and agriculture are the foundation of our economy. So anyway, I'm glad that more regular people have gotten involved. I think you could see that in the freshman class. I do believe President Trump inspired regular people to get off the sidelines and get involved. Our freshman class is a diverse group of members. We've got several farmers, doctors, pharmacists, business people, restaurant owners. I love that. I think our founding fathers intended for regular people from diverse backgrounds to go out there and take a turn representing the people. And I kind of cringe that I'm being called a politician now, because I truly look at myself as a servant representative.
Now, Mary, here you are, you come out of, you might say, normal life, you go to Washington, D.C., we've all learned about government in civic school and in college, but you now get to see the Pelosi Democrats up close. So let's take a short pause. But when we come back, I want to ask you about the experience as a Republican, as a conservative, as a constitutionalist of dealing with the Pelosi Democrats.
Okay.